So we were just talking about how you got started
Yes.
in martial arts and as a stunt man, stunt person. Can you say stunt? If I were to, am I a stunt woman? I'm a stunt woman, right?
Yeah, you can say stunt woman. Or the most nowadays the PC term is stunt person.
Stunt person.
I guess you can say.
Stunt professional.
Exactly, stunt professional or stunt person.
I think that sounds like the coolest job in the world.
It's pretty cool.
I want to know, how did you get started in that?
Well, like I said, I started off because I had a strong martial arts background.
Yeah.
And then when they were casting for Godzilla Final Wars, they were looking for people with martial arts background to demonstrate like a form.
Okay.
In Japanese, they say a kata.
Oh,
right?
okay,
So
okay.
I just got in to do that. And then when I was on set, I ran into another stunt guy, naturally, and then I said, "This is the coolest thing like ever."
Ever, yeah.
Like, how do I keep doing this? What do I do?
Yeah.
And he said, "You need to get onto an action team." And I said, "Well, what's an action team?" And he said, basically, anytime somebody wants an action movie made, they'll contact an action team, and then that team will have their own stunt coordinator or martial arts choreographer, and then he'll bring all his own guys to the movie.
Okay.
So he said, "You need to get onto one of these teams." And I said, "Well, how do I get onto a team?" And he said, "Go talk to that guy." So then I went and I talked to that guy, who was an up-and-coming action director.
Cool.
Who was just assisting with the film.
Okay.
And then I showed him kind of my martial arts reel of, how I can kick and things. And he said, "Yeah, just come and train."
Wow.
And then I trained for a few years, and then after a few years, I got my first role in a movie, and then from there that led to other roles. And
so it takes time.
yeah, it takes time.
I can't just say, hey, I want to do stunts, and tomorrow I'm going to be in a movie.
Well, some people, it's it's different for everybody.
Okay.
There's some people they'll get into it just by chance, by accident, and then they'll nail a really big job right off the bat.
Man.
Some people go about it quite systematically, first they go to a stunt school in the States, and then after that, then they get really nice looking professional headshots, and they study acting, and then they build themselves up, and then they just jump, and it's just kind of there's no one way to be successful.
Right, but it does sound like your connections and networking will certainly help you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like with anything, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most certainly.
How many different kinds of stunt jobs have you done?
What I do is 90% of what I do is fight choreography. Just because of my size, I'm always the big bad guy, especially in Japan, right?
It's funny because you're so nice. You're not like a bad, mean, the villain.
Yeah, I don't think I have a face for it at all.
No.
But I'm always the bad guy, right? So, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
It's okay. So, but when I went to stunt school in the States, there's probably about 20 different kinds of stunts. So, there's high falls.
Yeah.
There's what's called there's air ram, which is a platform you step on that launches you into an air. There's driving stunts. There's fighter stunts. There's stair falls.
Gosh.
There's just so many different types of stunts. I studied about 16 of them in stunt school.
Nice.
But because I had already had fight choreo background.
Yeah.
And then really fight choreography is the most common kind of stunt.
Okay.
Because everything has fights in it, right? Because conflict is just a part of storytelling.
Right.
So some kind of portrayal of physical violence is it's almost always in film. So it's the most common kind of stunt.
Yeah, yeah.
And I already had a background in it, so that just ended up being kind of my specialty.
Are you afraid of any kind of stunt? I would be afraid of falling, or jumping off of tall buildings or being in fire or something.
Well, you know what though? To be honest, good stunt guys are afraid too.
Really?
But it's the fear that keeps you alive, right? The guys that...
You don't want to get too comfortable.
Yeah. The guys who are too fearless...
Yeah.
There are guys who are just amazing and completely fearless, right? But oftentimes it's the guys who don't have that little bit of reservation that end up getting hurt.
Man.
Because there's times where somebody who doesn't really know about stunts will have a concept for something that they want.
Right.
And they'll be like, "I want you to run up and then jump off of this platform and then land on the cement on your back." And they'll think because you're a stunt guy, you have some safe way of doing that when there is no safe way.
Oh my God, you're gonna get yourself in a pickle if you just have no plan and
Exactly.
Ugh.
So there's times where you have to be like, "No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do that."
Yeah, I suppose you have to keep your head, keep your head on at all times, so
Yeah.
so you don't do anything too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and I can tell you the first time I had to jump off of a building, I was really scared.
Oh my gosh.
It was really scary. Like I stood there for maybe 7 or 8 minutes, and then my stunt coordinator's like, "Dude, are you gonna jump?"
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I get afraid just jumping into a swimming pool, not even from a diving board.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't know. It's 2 feet down.
Yeah, but a little bit of,
Shoot.
as a stunty, a little bit of fear is very good for you.
Yeah.
Keeps you alert and keeps you aware and keeps your decision making correct.
What's that that famous proverb, like, the only fear is the fear. Wait, what is it? The fear itself. Now I can't think of the proverb. I have to look it up.
Oh, yeah,
Now I have to look it up. Let's see.
I think I know the one you're talking about too.
Yeah.
Isn't that Winston Churchill?
Yeah. The fear of, what is it?
The only fear is fear itself.
Yeah, the only fear is fear itself. My goodness. My brain is not working today.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But I can share another really cool fear quote with you.
Yeah, that would be great.
That I read that I thought was really cool. It was by a business person, but actually it's about risk. And what they said is the only thing more dangerous than risk is never learning how to manage it.
We're always going to have risks, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a brilliant quote. And I mean, I think that applies to stunts as well, right? There's always going to be risk, or even in making career choices, right? There's always going to be some kind of risk.
And if there's not, that means you're not challenging yourself, right?
Exactly.
I finally found
did
my
you?
quote. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Okay, there you go. That's it. Yes.
But yeah, I think this is interesting, for language learning too, because it can be really scary to put yourself out there. Speaking with a native speaker of English could feel like jumping off of a tall building, if you get worked up about it. But you just have to manage that. Like you said, I like that quote. Manage your fear.
I think so.
Very cool.
I think so. And to be honest, I do think that there is a lot of kind of parallels between doing martial arts and speaking a foreign language.
Absolutely.
Or even doing stunt work and speaking a foreign language.
I want to ask you about that. Well, I'll ask you about the martial arts and learning a language, but what about stunts and learning a foreign language? Tell me about that.
Well, just in terms of what you said about, there's people can get really worked up over the fear of things.
Right.
And, for example, oftentimes with some kind of a physical movement, physically, it won't be that hard to do, but you get so scared that you freak out.
Because you're thinking about all the worst case scenarios,
exactly.
right?
Like mechanically, backflips are so simple.
Really?
They're really, really simple.
I've always wanted to do a
And
backflip.
Yeah, they're not hard at all. You don't have to be flexible. You don't have to be that strong. I think basically everyone has enough strength and flexibility to do a standing backflip.
Really?
Yeah, they're really technically easy, but they're really scary, and you have to get over the fear.
Because you're not used to it.
Yeah.
You didn't grow up doing that. Well, maybe you did. I don't know.
No, I didn't either. I had to learn. I learned backflips when I was maybe 28, 29.
What?
So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And
so.
That's
okay. That's what I was gonna say. So you can really learn as an adult. You don't have to grow up being a gymnast.
No, not at all.
Awesome.
I mean, it's easier when you're younger, right? But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to stop you at all. And I think it's the same with language, right? Because you have this thing where people want to say something, but they'll get so tied up and worried about, are they saying it correctly, or, worried about whether or not their grammar's correct.
Right.
And then they freeze and then it just doesn't come out.
Totally.
And it's the same way when you're trying to learn a backflip. People will get so worried about it that they freak out, and because they're freaking out, they can't do it.
Right.
But
if I hurt myself?
Exactly.
Same thing with language.
Relax. Once you relax, and you just let it happen, then it'll just come.
I like that. Relax, enjoy it, have fun.
Sit in the moment.
I love it. This is great. Very cool.
Word.